What's going on, guys? So I got a question recently that was super interesting, and it was all about ASMR and how this guy had essentially lateraled his FEMDOM addiction into what he described as an ASMR addiction. And I actually have quite a lot of experience with this, and what you're going to find out here is don't fall into this trap and bug flying by. I realize that, in my opinion, and I'll throw this out there, it might be viewed as a little bit radical, I'm going to say that ASMR is nothing and no more than softcore FEMDOM / softcore porn. And I'm going to explain my rationale for this. But essentially, if you're not familiar with ASMR, it's the capital letters, capital A, capital S, capital M, capital R. Search it up on YouTube, and there's literally thousands and thousands of videos. And anyway, if you're not familiar with it, you can take a look at it. But what I found is that it is putting yourself to sleep. It is losing your power. And what do we want to do? We want to wake up. We do not want to go to sleep. We do not want to not take action. We don't want to be docile anymore. We don't want to give our power away. We don't want everything to be okay and be tucked into our beds and worry about your feelings and your anxiety later. We want to handle this now. We'll say it again. We want to handle this now. So, of course, I'm not out to shame anybody. I'm not out to attack anybody, battle anybody, but realize that this stuff is full-fledged. I think a lot of guys deal with this, and whatever, you want to do it a little bit, that's fine. But realize that this stuff is keeping you asleep. It is keeping you docile. It is keeping you effeminate. In my opinion, I do have, again, direct experience. We're going to link in the firsthand experience on my part into this video. And without further ado, let's hop into why ASMR is softcore porn. And I'll see you guys there. And actually, just as a little brief exercise right before we hop into the main content, I want you guys to run through a couple of anti-ASMR, and I'm only just kind of joking around here, but a couple of powerful affirmations and sayings that we are going to go through right here. The first one is going to be, I wake up. And we're going to say it with gusto. It doesn't matter who's around. And we're going to say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I wake up. I'll say it again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I wake up. That's number one. The second one is to say, I reclaim my power. And again, let's say it with some gusto. We'll do it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I reclaim my power. And so I'm always just going through these fun little affirmations. And as another little bonus challenge, if you can walk out in a public place, not in a particularly public place, but there's people around, say it anyway. I'm always about that, right? It's this whole idea of ASMR. I find it so funny. It's like, don't work on yourself, sit in your room, go to sleep, jerk off and come. It's going to be better tomorrow. Mommy's here. It's just not really particularly what I think that I need, and I don't think it's particularly what most of you guys need. And so realize that I think ASMR is a massive addiction. I think it affects a lot of guys, and I think it's just keeping a lot of people asleep. So again, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. Do whatever you want to do. And I think it was the Hodge twins that used to say, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. Let's hop into the main content. Oh, kick the camera of this video, and I will see you guys there. So this is going to be anti-ASMR, and this is going to be all about waking up, reclaiming your power, taking action, and getting stuff done. Now, to be fair, before we go any further, let me start by saying you guys can do whatever the F you want to do. It does not matter to me. I am purely putting out some of my experience, some of my knowledge and things that I wish I had knew a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So you guys that are coming up can hopefully bypass or at least limit some of the mistakes that I made. So anyway, this is going to be all about anti-ASMR, and let's start at the beginning here. Now, I think ASMR at the surface level, really there's no harm with it, and I think that a lot of women gravitate towards that. They are very much nurturers. They want to take care of their kids. They want to nurse babies. They want to make you feel good, whatever it is. Again, that's fine. I think if you're at a really, really low level, maybe an ASMR video might give you that temporary little state pump and bring you up. But to sit there and say that ASMR is going to be therapy, that ASMR is going to be some way to alleviate a lot of trauma, and believe me, I hate throwing that word trauma in because I feel like it's overused a lot, but of course it's something that we all have. But to sit there and say that ASMR is going to be the solution to that, complete bogus. And let's just agree that it's purely mental masturbation or just entertainment. So just let's call it what it is. But what this guy's question was really interesting, because essentially what he posed was that it seemed like he had taken his FEMDOM addiction and it had turned into a ASMR addiction. And I actually had many of the same experiences, in the sense that if you really think about it, and let me know below what your take on ASMR is, whether you like it, you don't like it, you've had similar experiences to it. But really what you're doing is you are worshiping this woman, because 99% of ASMR creators are women. Typically they're pretty attractive women, actually, in my opinion. And you're taking it and you're pedestalizing this woman, and you're saying, I worship this woman, I giving my power to this woman. And not only are you doing that, but if you watched my last video on my little TikTok mishap and relapse, you are staying in this infantile mind state. And so if you look at and you watch, and believe me guys, I've watched a lot of ASMR, an embarrassingly large amount of ASMR, and I wish that I hadn't done that in many ways, although whatever, like I said, it's entertaining to a certain level. But realizing that you're staying in this little kid mind state, and you're staying in this kind of lackluster and this state where you feel like you're not taking any action. And so if you look at a lot of these ASMR videos, it goes even further, because not only is it keeping you in this kind of low level mind state, oh, everything's okay, you don't have to worry about things right now, you're good the way that you are. And you'll hear this a lot of times in mainstream media and really all over the place in ASMR, the media, all types of different outlets. Oh, you're just fine the way that you are, stay the same, you don't need to change. Hear that all the time, right? That's the worst advice that you could give somebody, because it's keeping them in this mentality like they don't need to do anything. And as we know, it's extremely dangerous, right? Guys that are trapped in FEMDOM, and I felt this way for a long time, you think one day I'm just going to wake up and everything is going to magically happen. Newsflash, nothing in life just magically happens. You have to put in the work, you have to take action, and you have to get stuff done. So that is what we are all about. And really quickly, let's just say it with me. I take action. Wake up. Wake up. And this is critical, because too much of our life is just pleasure seeking, putting us into the derp state. What is the derp state? It's just a state of not doing much, looking for the mental masturbation, looking for whatever quick dopamine hit it is that makes us feel good. And while you might feel like you are alleviating stress, alleviating anxiety, alleviating trauma, you're really actually going one step forward and 10 steps backward. And what I really want to touch upon further is this idea of really this kind of almost sissification. If you look at like half the ASMR videos are like applying makeup on your face or doing some sort of extremely feminine thing. And so I just don't think it's a good idea to be resonating and watching a ton of content to where you're essentially being sissified. And if you guys know, in FEMDOM, you have guys that are into intense like sissification or blackmail revolved around sissification. And again, it's like, if you want to do that a little bit, but call a spade a spade. Don't sit there and think that this is going to be a solution to your problem. And I actually think it's going to create a lot more problems. And so, and another thing, another little mission that I have for you guys is scroll through some of these comments on a lot of the ASMR videos. And it's like, it'll just be like the guy after guy being like, I worship this person. I'm not going to throw out any names, but I used to watch a ton of ASMR, right? So I'm not, I have experience falling into this trap. Like, I worship this person. Their videos are the best of all time. Oh my God, now I can actually sleep. And it's just like, it's this kind of pedestalization of these women. And again, I'll backtrack again. I love women. I'm all for equality. I'm all for working together. I think there's incredible synergy. And I think that at the core, what ASMR stands for is kind of a good thing, but it can quickly, as a bug flies into my eye, spiral out of control to where you're being completely addicted. And I've even seen guys in the comments where their name is like ASMR addict or like ASMR worshiper and stuff like that. And so really all it is softcore femdom, right? Your dom is now this ASMR artist. And so I really appreciate this question that was posed to me. And I think that it's something that really is not addressed a lot. And I would really even take it even a step further and say that ASMR is being operated under this guise of this means to do good, but really just as a way to put people to sleep, really just as a way to make people not take action. And then it's this endless loop because it's never a solution. You're never going to get better. You're never going to solve your problems. You're never going to get stuff done if you're asleep. You're never going to get stuff done if you're addicted to ASMR. So again, say it with me. I will wake up. I will wake up. I will wake up. And this is going to be the anti-ASMR message. I think that it's a video that I wasn't sure if I wanted to make, but I really appreciate this question. And also, if you guys have any further comments, suggestions, questions, always post them under these videos because I read every single one. I appreciate all you guys. I think that for the most part, everyone that's here is pretty constructive. And a lot of times I get my ideas for the videos based around comments or questions that I get on the last ones. And so, or shoot me a message on any one of my social media too. That's another good place to reach it. But going back to this idea of addiction, what I noticed was that I actually was addicted to ASMR. And I think that most of the guys, I don't know, this is just off of my experience, but most of the guys are likely probably jerking off while they're watching ASMR too. And so you're just trading your porn addiction or your femdom addiction for an ASMR addiction. And it's the same thing, just on a very soft core level. So always ask yourself, what are the things in your life that are serving you, right? What things are moving you towards your goals? What things make you feel really, really good? And if ASMR makes you feel really good and you're not watching it hours and hours per day, by all means, go ahead and do it. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm not here to shame anybody. I'm not here to try to cancel anything. And I try to make that as clear as I can, is that message that I think everything should exist. But for when it comes to ASMR, when it comes to porn, when it comes to femdom, It's pure mental masturbation. It's pleasure seeking. It's things where you get the dopamine hit, you feel really good on the front end, right? I always say it's that +1 on the front and the -10 on the back. And so while you feel like you're getting a bit of stimulation, of reprieve from your anxiety or whatever it is that you're trying to escape, that on the back end, you're getting drained, you're getting sucked dry. And so again, that goes back into the spiral of then you want to watch more of it, whether it be ASMR, FEMDOM, or porn. You want to go back into it more. You want to go back in. Right now I'm feeling even worse, so I want to watch more. And it's just this consumption. So I always want to push you guys, be the creator, have a purpose, fuel things into your life that are going to propel you forward. Things that are going to make not only you better, but that are going to make other people better. And by doing this and really getting aligned with this, you'll notice that a lot of these things just fade away. But it's extremely easy to get sucked into ASMR, I think, especially because it has this guise, like it's this good deed, like it's helping people. And I really just think there's nothing wrong with it, but it's purely entertainment. So let's call it what it is. So another thing that I find really funny with the ASMR in this ASMR community is it's all about, ooh, the tingles, 100% braingasm tingles. It's a load of crap. I mean, it's funny, it's entertainment, but again, it's pure pleasure seeking. So I wanted to make a couple more quick little affirmations, and I want you to say, I choose life. And again, let's say it with some emphasis. Let's go again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I choose life. And so realizing that these brain tingles or whatever they are in the ASMR community, again, I want to do them a little bit. It's pure pleasure seeking. Find it kind of funny, but I think that what I've seen is that a lot of you guys are completely addicted on this junk. So again, one more time, I choose life on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I choose life. Go out and experience the world. Stop sitting in your room and getting these braingasm tingles. All right, so continuing on with this ASMR addiction topic, on a little bit more of a deep dive in, I started realizing that almost every single ASMR artist has either an OnlyFans or a Patreon. And again, they want to make money. It gives women the ability to do that. I'm actually all for that. I'm not anti-OnlyFans. I'm not anti-Patreon. But going even a little bit further, what I started realizing was that a lot of the ASMR artists were actually used to be dominatrixes. And again, I'm not going to throw out any names just because I'm not trying to have anybody go, I'm just not trying to do that. But if you take a little bit of your own research in your own hands and you start looking at a lot of these ASMR artists, they either are still dominatrixes or used to be. And so it kind of just, in my opinion, backs up this whole idea that ASMR is softcore porn. And so I am curious to know what your thoughts on ASMR are, if you've had any sort of addictions, if you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing. I really am not here to tell anybody what to do. Always have the mindset of I want to offer as much value to you guys and be as transparent as I can. And I think some of these things, when you're coming out of FEMDOM addiction or porn addiction, I think an ASMR addiction, again, it's kind of a step in the right direction, but it's not the end goal. So if you spend a bit of a period of time, kind of like if you're coming off of a drug, if you go from heroin to marijuana, it is a step in the right direction, but you still don't want to stay heavily medicated and addicted to weed. You want to eventually get to sobriety. And it's the same thing with the ASMR addiction. If you got to be there for a little bit, and that's just part of your natural process of getting out of this porn addiction, this FEMDOM addiction, this self-destruction, it is, I guess, a better form of addiction, if that is such a thing, but it's not someplace that you want to stay for a long time. And again, eventually, if you enjoy it a little bit, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to ever say that I wouldn't watch another ASMR video again, but I can also tell you that I absolutely was addicted to ASMR for the same reasons why I was addicted to FEMDOM and the same reasons why I was addicted to porn. So remember, we're all cut from the same cloth. That's a saying that I like to reiterate over and over again. What does that mean? It means that we're all the same. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all have certain types of addictions, but remember that don't fall into the trap like you think it is the answer, and always be pushing to make yourself better and make the other people in your life better. And that's really what I truly believe in, just sharing the value, sharing the ideas and the addictions and struggles that I have had. So let me know what your thoughts are. Post more comments and ideas about future videos that you want me to make, and I will likely take your ideas, thank you, and make a video about them. This is a great way, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking with all you guys. I had a great coaching call today with D. I'm not going to say his full name, but if you're watching this, you know who you are. Amazing. It was like a 2-hour call, super helpful, had a lot of great ideas in there. I think we worked through a lot of really cool things. That's another thing. Hop on a free coaching call with me. We could talk about whatever you want, take you through guided releases, do trauma work, do just intellectual, introspective work, kind of cover it all. And that's what I'm all about. So hop in some of the courses. I've got a lot more courses that I am working on right now, ideas, challenges, and I guess you could say I'm kind of addicted to that right now. One final note that actually just popped in my head that I want to say is, we live too much in this virtual world, I feel like, to where your ASMR creator like becomes your virtual girlfriend. And you'll see that a lot in ASMR, right? It's like the ASMR virtual girlfriend, right? You don't need to go out and seek real human contact. You can just watch it on your cell phone. You don't need to get a real massage from your girlfriend. You can just get a fake ASMR one. You don't need to. They run all these virtual experiences, like you get your virtual haircut in there. You get your virtual breakfast made for you. Then you get jerked off in the ASMR video, like very implicitly, but that's what's going on. So, don't fall into this virtual trap. Go get a real girl. They're gonna be extremely grateful. You stick with me. We're rising to the top, baby, and we're gonna be working on tons of personal development stuff. Gonna be working on getting rid of all these addictions that ruin your life, all these impulses and compulsive behaviors, and I'm extremely interested in social dynamics. And so I'm actually working right now on trying to figure out how I want to outline a course from then coming from these virtual addictions, whether it be ASMR, FEMDOM, porn, and propelling yourself. Because all the guys that I talk to that have these addictions, you guys are amazing and you're super smart, and I learn just as much from you as you learn from me. And so how can we take you to this level to where not only are you cutting this crap out, but now you're building this epic life? I'm always about how can I build the most incredible life that I can with the short amount of time that I am here. And I would like to show you guys how to do the exact same thing and go out and get a real girlfriend that can do all those ASMR things that you're watching on your screen. So that is exactly what we are gonna do. I appreciate all you guys being here. You mean a lot to me. Super introspective comments, keep them coming. I'll be back very, very soon, and I'm out.